Namaste everyone, I am Axat and I give pop culture reviews of the latest TV shows, and sometimes I throw back to a lot of good shows. For example, one of my favorite ones is 6 Feet Under, which deals with the theme of death. But alright, let's get back to what I was talking to you about right now, what I want to talk to you about right now, which is Resident Alien. That's right, it's not Resident Evil, that zombie franchise, it's Resident Alien Season 1 in specific, because I just started Season 2 and I don't want to get into it. And there are not going to be any spoilers that will throw you off the show before you even watch it. If you have already watched it, tell me what you think in the comments. Let's get started with the main title character actor, Alan Tudyk. Now he of course voiced the chicken Heihei in Moana, and Moana is Advitya, my little baby daughter's favorite movie. Moana 2 is also one of her favorites, but she is getting to grips with that story right now. Moana of course has been a staple of hers ever since she started to realize how a story progresses. Okay, so the town doctor being an alien is already a hilarious enough plot, but there are lots of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy references peppered in this series as well. The latest one being that an octopus is named number 42 because it's number 42 on the menu of the diner in which it is in a glass cage waiting to be cut up and fed to any diners that orders him. So it also set me thinking that Arthur Dent, the main character in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, has the initials of the author Douglas Adams flipped. So maybe that was intentional, am I right? But I'm sure other people have pointed that out before. Nevertheless, there is an added twist of a Home Alone sort of sitch with a kid who can see the alien in his true form. And in one of the dialogues, the word Nemesis is used. That reminded me of a great movie, a hilarious but very violent movie called Snatch, in which one of the brick top is a character and he says, "A nemesis is the righteous infliction of retribution manifested by an appropriate agent." Now I'm kind of in awe of how these British actors get their inflections in their voice so grittingly through their teeth. But yeah, I guess there is some sort of connection between their hard climate and their hard enunciation of words. Nevertheless, there is a show called The Giver which I have never heard of, and that reminded me of never heard of it. It was something that came into my mind when I was watching the episode, but now it has slipped from my mind. That's the thing, when I'm watching the show, a lot of thoughts come through my head and I try and get them down, but I guess the moment is gone and then that thought also vanishes, and that is why I try and follow a stream of thought thing when I'm writing reviews and stuff. But not in the case of comedy shows like Resident Alien, because I think a lot of its comedy is about the human existence and about human nature, and that is why I think the characters who are quirky add that bit of Americana to the narrative. And we in India of course can't relate much to this sort of lifestyle in which everybody is living a very separate sort of lifestyle if they so choose, and people are like apart from each other, because here of course there's too much population and everybody is on top of everybody else, which leads to a lot of bad things as well. And I think the preservation of nature is also something that needs to be emulated by us from America. Not much else, but that concept of leave no trace, that's very nice if you want to preserve nature. So just try and follow what I as an individual promote, which is zero impact travel, especially in the Himalayas, because that's where pollution has its maximum drastic impact, and of course in the seas as well, because all the pollution in the end and lands up in the sea, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, GPGP. So all these things are something that we should keep in mind, but then again we are conshumans and we are consumers while being human, and nothing can stop us from collecting stuff, from wanting stuff, from creating stuff. So I guess I'll focus more on the creative part. And coming back to quirky characters, there is a trio in the law enforcement department of the setting of the show, which is a sheriff, his deputy, not his deputy, the deputy, and the sheriff's dog Cletus, and they are a riot. And there is of course the couple of governmental X-Files, sort of Fox and Mulder, but racially updated version. And in the end, Mulder is betrayed by Fox, and Sarah Hamilton, the original Linda Hamilton, conflation of character and actor, that should be avoided. But Linda Hamilton refuses all makeup, and her age lines and her furrows and her strength of character is there for everybody to see, which I absolutely adore. And it's good to see her play another strong woman after Sarah Connor, in The Terminator. Finally, there is a Lord of the Rings style thing that you are stronger when you choose not to kill. So I'll tell you the actual quote from Gandalf, which he says to Frodo in Fellowship of the Ring, which says, many that live deserve death, and some that die deserve life. So can you give it to them? And that is why Frodo, I think, is also circling back to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Douglas Adams said that the cool dudes of the galaxy are called FROODs, and Frodo is Frodo and FROOD is FROOD. So he might have been playing off the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy term on the Lord of the Rings main character. And then again, of course, choosing not to kill and showing our strength that way is something that the world needs right now, talking about Iran, Israel, Palestine, India, Pakistan, America, Russia, Ukraine, all sorts of wars going on all over the place. Africa, which doesn't pop up into the news that often, but it's absolutely devastating what has been going on over there over the past centuries. So it just pains me sometimes, but then again, we can't all be Greta Thunbergs, but at least we can try to be proponents of good faith in humanity and push for space exploration, scientific curiosity, and the development of society in such a way that it benefits everyone, a sort of utopian society, which is kind of what I portray in my science fiction, An Android Awoke. And the only cause of contention, the only real source of strife is a new element that has been discovered on Mars called Martium, and because it might give us close to light speed travel, interstellar travel, interplanetary at least. So those are the themes that I'm exploring in my science fiction. But this science fiction series with comedy in it and a bit of ethos, pathos, logos, not so much logos, but a lot of pathos and ethos about human nature is Resident Alien. Check it out if you like science fiction comedy. And there are some undercurrents in it about a murder that sets off the entire chain of events. But in any case, I digress a lot. I am Axat. Thank you so much for watching this review. Check out my other Star Wars, Marvel Cinematic Universe, and lots of other reviews, shows, travel vlogs, space exploration videos, Advitya, my baby daughter's growing up videos, which I hope she will watch when she grows up and reminisce about, like we like to get into nostalgic trips and all. So that's it, I guess, for this afternoon vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and namaste.